4 players would like to take this into their carry-on luggage on their trips home. Starting with Thomas Larsen, who's won twice overseas, but not yet in the U.S. Patrick Dombrowski seeks his first tour title in his 15th season as a pro, while A.J. Johnson is a young rising star, and Mitch Beasley, runner-up at the T&C. It's a solid field for the Chameleon Championship, and it's happening right now in the World Series of Bowling. Here we are inside Reno, Nevada's National Bowling Stadium downtown. The PBA Chameleon Championship presented by HotelPlanner.com. And there are 4 finalists: Randy Peterson, Thomas Larsen, Patrick Dombrowski, A.J. Johnson, and the veteran Mitch Beasley.
One of our players today will win on U.S. soil for the first time.
And one of them could very well be A.J. Johnson. He is standing by with Kimberly Pressler.
Thanks, Dave. So, AJ, I was here during match play when you secured your spot on this television show, and you got pretty emotional afterward. Why was it so important for you to make this show?
You know, since the Masters last year, I've been really working hard to get back to this point. I made a lot of good changes before coming out here with my guy Brian, Greg back home. I know they're watching. Came out here, worked with Jazz now, and the reps here for Storm. Just been working on a lot of good things to get the ball to go through the pins the right way, get it to read the right way. And it seemed to have been working out. Seemed to work out today.
All right, well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you in the booth.
Kimberly and AJ, thank you very much. He's referring to what happened in the USBC Masters in Green Bay at Ashwaubenon 2015. Jason Belmonte beat him in the finals 202 to 157. Randy, what's this pattern like, the Chameleon?
Well, it plays pretty slick, and all 4 of our players are great at one thing, and that's rolling it, keeping their hand behind the bowling ball and up the back. And you have to do that on Chameleon. Keep your angles tight and really roll it.
Now, all 4 players will be competing simultaneously. The top 2 scorers will advance to the final and a chance at $20,000. And first up will be Clarkville, Tennessee's Mitch Beasley, 22nd year as a professional. And a clean start. Got to be a little bit of nerves no matter how many years you've been bowling to start off a telecast, and he handled it perfectly.
Agreed. Talk about keeping your hand behind it and up the back. Watch this young man from Denmark, Thomas Larsen.
Now, the tour titles were overseas in Kuwait and the United Arab Emirates. And we're off to a flying start.
Oh, I talked to him right before we went on the air. He said straighter is greater, and he just showed you that.
Patrick Dombrowski from Parma, Ohio. 6 regional championships, looking for that first one nationally. Now through the face a little bit and behind the difficult 3-6-10 is that 9.
Not what you want to try to convert first time on television, first frame.
And A.J. Johnson, the youngest of the 4 at 24. He did have the one big shot at 2-time Team USA member. Powerful strike for Johnson.
My first shot hooked on TV this time.
Now Dombrowski has to cut through the noise here for a tricky spare. Nope.
You see a lot of players now trying to throw it straight at the 3-6-9-10. That's how difficult that spare has become on our challenging animal oil patterns.
It's also through the face. That time the 9 clears out of there. There are days, Randy, where Mitch is not even the best bowler in his own house.
Talking about his wife, Angelimar. You know, he once beat her in a regional.
In a final, that's right. First time that's ever happened in PBA history. Mixed him up, and Larsen opens with a double.
there she is.
Stupid ball.
A.J. Johnson, who had a ripping strike on the right lane.
Using two different balls. I'm talking with the players. Left lane's tighter. And speaking with some of the ball reps down there, some of the guys are using a lot of surface, and you can see that's pretty evident on A.J. Johnson's equipment.
Yeah, looked like a solid shot. He thought so too.
One of the things he's been working on is to try to get a little softer with his speed and his hit.
Dombrowski hits it. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe that. That looked like the absolute perfect shot.
Welcome to television, Patrick.
Man.
So cruel.
I'll throw a theory in here in a second that I got from Marshall Holman. I thought Johnson covers. Marshall's thought is you're seeing more of those 8s and 9s that just stay there because the equipment is more powerful than ever before.
Well, and I'm not going to argue that point. The equipment is definitely stronger. But, you know, here's the thing. When you watch, excuse me, some of the strongest strike balls on tour from the two-handers, say Jason Belmonte, Jesper Svensson on the left side, E.J. Tackett, they figure out a way to get their bowling balls to come off of the end of the pattern softer so they don't leave the back row. Mitch Beasley.
Oh, and a messenger flying over there. You saw his arsenal earlier, and he has a hook rate of 8 on what he is throwing here.
Was that a cyborg pearl?
Yes.
That was a massive messenger.
Thomas Larsen's arsenal. A Black Widow Dark Legend solid.
Solid cover stock's going to read the old pattern sooner than a pearlized cover stock.
It is hard to argue with that start. Dombrowski seeking his first strike. And he'll find it. 5-pin the last to fall.
Patrick Dombrowski, a really, really good player, can do a lot of different things, very versatile. He can hook the entire lane, slow hook it, and as you can see, up the back and straight.
A.J. Johnson, who was a tremendous bowler, collegiate MVP at McKendree. First team All-American. He's a junior gold champion as well. Oh, man, for just a half a second, there was a 7-9 standing there until the other pins cooperated. Everybody strikes in the third frame. A.J. Johnson powers them down. The 7-9 hung around, but they weren't invited. Let's see what happens when we return. The PBA Chameleon Championship, presented by HotelPlanner.com, is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. By Reno Tahoe USA. For your next vacation getaway, go to visitRenoTahoe.com. By Barbasol Shaving Cream, America's leader for a close, comfortable shave. Close Shave America, Close Shave Barbasol. And by Eldorado, Silver Legacy, and Circus Circus, Reno's premier downtown properties. Time for our extra frame highlights. How we got down to that last 4 here for the Chameleon. The top seed through the qualifying was Mike Devaney, but it wasn't meant to be. He's going to lose this one in 4 to Patrick Dombrowski. Will make his first TV Finals appearance.
Our next matchup featured E.J. Tackett against Mitch Beasley. This would go 4 games, but not the way E.J. Tackett would have liked. Check out the messenger from the 48-year-old Beasley. He takes the squirrel out 3 games to 1.
From way back, Brandon Novak would be swept by the classic form of A.J. Johnson. Talk about 2 different styles. Johnson takes him out, including a 290 in the first game.
And in our last matchup, arguably one of the greatest ever, Pete Weber taking on Thomas Larsen. Pete battling a hip injury throughout most of the World Series of bowling. Check this out. Ball's not halfway down the lane. Larsen loves it. He loves the victory. Beats Weber 259-250 in the last game.
So I go to Mitch Beasley here in the 4th. And that has got to hurry. Yeah, that's going to be difficult. Leaving 4 behind. And Beasley, a couple ways to attack this. And he'll take them all. Beautifully done. He'll go to the left-hand lane now in the 5th frame. And buries it. 10 straight back. Larsen in the 4th. Good look at that ball going down there for the strike on the chameleon pattern. Now in the 5th, with his competitors eyeing his every move. A quiet 10-pin. Dombrowski in the 4th. Needs to get it going, and he does. To the left lane. And a ringer. Terrible break for Dombrowski. A.J. Johnson in the 4th frame on the left lane. Powerful hit, but leaves behind the 4. And the 5th, a terrible break for Johnson. A 4-10. Going for it. Can't quite get it. Bad break there for A.J. Now Larsen in the 6th frame. He has the advantage here. 29 on Beasley. A little off on that one. Leaving behind the 2-4-5.
Pete, sunglasses?
Mitch Beasley on this right-hand lane has not struck.
Yeah, he hasn't been close.
Fix that problem.
Great shot there. 6 goes to the sidewall, just crushes the 10.
Larsen, there you see that going straight at it that Randy talked about earlier that so many players do nowadays. So he's clean through 6. Dombrowski opened in the 1st frame. Has been kind of playing catch-up ever since. Let's see, Primal Rage remix. And he left exactly what A.J. Johnson just left.
Yeah, it was a bad shot.
It's not basketball, it's bowling.
What would he mean by that?
Well, he double dribbled it into the front part of the lane. You could hear it bounce. AJ left his by going high, and that was left by Dombrowski going light.
And the 7-pin. Late to the party, but down it goes. And that's a big one for Johnson because with Dombrowski now in some trouble here, Johnson could move up. Going hard at it. Nope. Oh, A.J. Johnson knows that feeling. Now Mitch Beasley just sort of sitting there, riding a double. And he has struck every time on the left lane in this match. No suspense with that shot at all.
Another quality shot by Mitch Beasley, the 48-year-old. 20 regional titles to his credit.
Now Thomas Larsen out of Denmark. Absolute pure power for such a slender person. You see Patrick Dombrowski's road to the finals, qualified with a very solid 231.5 average. Took out Dave Wadka, Jesper Svensson, and then Mike Devaney.
Actually had a roll-off with Dave Wadka. 1-ball roll-off that 5th and final game.
Our Columbia 300 fun fact for the World Series of Bowling with the events included in this year's WSOB. The city of Reno has now hosted 40 PBA Tour events. Now back to A.J. Johnson.
It's a big shot for A.J.
On the lane where he left the split in the 5th frame. Powers him down.
Not done!
That was a huge shot for him. It keeps him in the game and also gives him some confidence moving forward. in the 8th, 9th, and 10th.
A perfect 7th from our 4 competitors. Well, Larsen looking more and more like he'll be one of the 2 that will get through to the championship match.
And this could very well be the shot that solidifies Mitch Beasley's place in the finals.
See Mitch's road to the finals, beat Chris Warren, Matt McNeil, great left-hander, and E.J. Tackett. Tackett's didn't do badly in Reno, though. He qualified for the match play in all of the patterns. And, of course, the World Series of Bowling, where he was the #1 seed. And that 7-pin just a little lazy.
Man, it was good.
Really good shot and not a great break, but now Johnson has an opening here that he must take advantage of.
He's on the lock. Part of his arsenal. When he hits, they stay hit.
Beautiful shot by A.J. Johnson, keeping himself right in the thick of things. Take it off the sheet now for 237.
As you would expect a veteran to do, Mitch Beasley smothers the 7. But you don't want to be the guy sparing when all of a sudden everybody else is starting to pound 10 straight back. And Dombrowski, if he's going to make a last stand, it starts right now. It actually started in that 7th frame. Oh,
Come
ringer.
on.
That, I agree there. You got ripped off.
His tournament's coming to an end, unfortunately. It's all about Beasley and A.J. Johnson now.
It looks very good for Thomas Larsen. Some extra oomph behind that shot.
I love it, the Monica Seles of bowling.
There you see Dombrowski in, I would say he's not going to make it, unfortunately for him, but he'll pick up $5,000. It's really, you're right, Beasley and Johnson throwing haymakers to see who's going to go against Thomas Larsen at the moment. Now, things can change in one shot. That was as good as any of the strikes.
You know, things are getting very interesting right now because here's the scenario. Beasley can strike out for 239.
Okay.
Thomas Larsen can go spare, strike, spare for 235. A.J. Johnson can strike out for 237.
And you can hear the unhappiness.
How many times you gonna fall off your thumb?
Falling off his thumb means what?
He's not getting to the foul line the way he normally does, and his release point's changing.
Larsen can clean up the 10.
You know, it might be an issue where he's kind of pulling down in the downswing, and the ball's going to come off quick, so he has to grab it.
He'll take it out. The best he'll be able to do is a 192. That will not cut it among the other 3. So here's where things get even more intriguing. Can A.J. Johnson make it 4 in a row?
You know, this is a real statement right here for A.J. Johnson, setting up the 10th frame.
Yes, he mixed them up. Little love from Mitch Beasley there, who was impressed.
This one's coming down to the 10th frame, folks.
2 spots, 3 people fighting for it.
Thomas Larsen looked like he was locked. No longer the case.
Oh, he got a similar strike to Johnson's. A little light on that head pin, but he got them all down.
If Beasley doesn't strike on this shot, A.J. Johnson will need the first hit in the 10th. He controls his own destiny.
Had to hurry back, and did it ever.
A great shot. One of the most underrated bowlers, in my opinion. Mitch Beasley's a heck of a player. This strike here locks a spot in the finals for Thomas Larsen.
He doesn't get it. The bucket is there instead.
He got it a little bit right. That forward end over end roll with no axis rotation was not going to get up to the pocket. Thomas Larsen now in jeopardy of not making it into the championship match.
He started faster than anyone with the front four. Has still not made a mistake and still may not make it.
Strike here in good count. Beasley is locked. Strike in 9.
Another quality shot. She knows better than anybody.
Big, strong Mitch Beasley just throwing it great. I'll tell you what, that shot in the 8th frame for Mitch could have cost him, but he finished his huge in the 9th and 10th. He needs just 9 to stay ahead of A.J. Johnson.
We have A.J. Johnson's been waiting through all of this, as has Patrick Dombrowski. Dombrowski will not make it.
7, and he stays ahead of Larsen.
He'll get it. Man, what a finish for Beasley. Bam. 4 straight strikes.
That guy's cooler than the bottom of a polar bear's feet. Goes 3-bagger, 9 spare, 4-bagger to end the game. 239. He's going to be your high score now. A.J. Johnson. 2 strikes in 9. He'll move on.
There's one.
It's moments like this for a young professional that can really turn around a career. Getting up in the 10th frame and getting it done when you need to.
And in an environment you're not normally used to either. With the lights on, against some quality players, head to head. Johnson again must strike on this ball, where it will be Beasley and Larsen for the Chameleon title. Yo, he got a kick on the 4.
Well, it looked left the whole way, and it looked like he kind of amped up the speed a little bit, which kept the ball on line just a fraction longer. But there you go, trip 4-7 out late. A.J. Johnson needs 9. And Thomas Larsen will be eliminated.
With a clean game, a 235, and that may not be good enough.
I mean, didn't we pencil him as one of the guys that was going to make it after like
several frames ago? Yes.
Like after 5 frames.
Yeah,
right?
we did.
A.J. Johnson on a 6-bagger right now. Another strike or 9, he will bowl Mitch Beasley for the title.
An 8, and they're tied. He knew it. There's the 9. Fist pump as that ball was going down the approach.
Great ball, man. Great ball always, okay? Great job.
It'll be Mitch Beasley and A.J. Johnson. 24 years separate the two as they both seek their first PBA Tour title. An amazing finish A.J. Johnson needed to finish strong. 2 strikes and a 9 count to move on past Thomas Larsen, and a shot at Mitch Beasley, who was solid with a 239. Down the stretch, both bowlers were at their best. They will compete for $20,000 and their first PBA Tour title. Well, let's go back with our Ebonite flashback to 2015, Randy.
Well, this is when the United States was introduced to the Swedish rock star. Jesper Svensson takes out Pascal Winterheimer, 267, 193. Hey, why don't we hear from Jesper about his win?
A lot of practice and hard work behind all this, and I mean, right now I'm living the dream, and I'm just very happy that I've had a lot of success so far, and I hope I can keep it going.
We take a look at the past champions here. Jesper Svensson, of course, we showed you. DJ Archer, Ryan Simonelli. Scott Norton has won this event 2 times, in 2010 and in 2012. Jason Belmonte in between that. And Bill O'Neill in 2009. So, who do you think is going to add their name to this list? You got both bowlers coming in with a ton of momentum, and I would assume confidence.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough call. You know, A.J. Johnson's made some big changes to his game, but Mitch Beasley, it's almost like at age 48, it's now time for him to finally win on the PBA Tour.
All right, we'll see what happens. The experience of Beasley, the youth, and the energy of Johnson about to go head-to-head for $20,000 in the Chameleon Championship. You'll see it in moments. Getting them fired up, getting ready for this Chameleon Championship, part of the World Series of Bowling, a championship match between Mitch Beasley and A.J. Johnson. It was a thrilling foursome that went at it. Now we're down to the 2 high scores. A.J. Johnson right there, and he will start looking for his first PBA Tour title. They both are. They have won regionals, so these guys have been champions before, but this is a little bit of a different, pardon the expression, Randy, animal.
And both players have bowled for major championships before, both in a title match. Hello.
And goodbye. Even gave it the Matumbo finger wag.
Not in my house. Check this out. Head pin goes to the sidewall. Hey, 10 pin, get out of my way.
And that was today's Barbasol Close Shave. So Mitch Beasley, the major that Randy spoke of, is the Fire Lake PBA TFC in Shawnee, Oklahoma. He was the top seed there. It is no disgrace to lose to Jesper Svensson. Others have done it. Oh, seriously? Wow.
Thank you very much.
Actually, the correct phrase, Mitch, is thank you very little.
Wow. Oh, I could think of a lot of other phrases.
Yeah, and so can he, but watch the ball go right by the 9 pin. Unfortunate. He's going to make a move off of that the next time he's on the right lane. It's part of the game. You got to stay ahead of the transition, make those little micro adjustments, and keep plugging.
Well, let's take a visit with Kimberly Pressler, who's standing by with Thomas Larsen.
Thanks, guys. So, Thomas, that was a tough break for you. You know what? You had a clean game. You were so close. You got a 235, but you were 1 pin shy of making the finals. How devastating is that?
It really sucks. I had a chance to shut him out, and I didn't. And then he gets up and throws 2 great shots and gets it done. And it's hard. It'll be hard the next couple of days, but it's a good tournament still.
What's worse, not playing well or playing well but just missing the finals?
That's a tough question. I would say I gave it my bestest, and I can take that away from it. I bowled well even though I was a little nervous, and that's something positive.
Well, you should be proud. You did play well. Guys, back to you.
All right, Kimberly, by the way, greatest answer ever. That first answer.
Who said Thomas Larsen doesn't speak English, huh?
Oh, I think
This guy's English is perfect.
You saw Beasley got a dramatic trip on the 7 to get his strike down. Let's see what A.J. Johnson does here. And yes again.
I mean, that's just dirty. Absolutely dirty. Back-to-back messengers, but that one was extra special.
It's time for a little track tech talk with Mr. Peterson.
Well, you know, AJ's been working real hard to get back to this point in his early career, his young career, I should say. He's working on getting the ball to read the lane sooner. So he worked with Mike Jasnow here in Reno, worked on increasing his flat spot. They moved him back on the approach, got his backswing a little bit shorter, and all of a sudden now the ball motion is starting to get better. It's starting to read. This is a big, strong guy. He's got to take some muscle out.
He didn't.
That was a little better.
Remember, the tendency for athletes like A.J. Johnson is to get aggressive and throw. And he really has to learn how to back down. He is so strong and so powerful, he can really create a lot of revolutions, but a lot of times power players try to make the ball come around the corner, and all they have to do is back it down and get the ball to read earlier.
So swing easy, hit hard.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great way to put it.
I'll tell you what, these two put on a great show as they did in the first game. 239 for Beasley, 236 for Johnson.
You see Mitch Beasley, a little unusual backswing as the arm is bent going back and then straightens out a little bit, and then he kind of bends the elbow again to create the revolutions at the bottom. But, you know, this is a student of the game. This man here knows a lot about motion, bowling balls, layouts, surfaces, and he's a good bowler. There's a lot of information in that head, and he uses that to his advantage.
20 PBA Regional Tour titles. Now, these two are just in top form. Not a bit of let up out of either of these two in this game, after the emotions that they both had to go through just to get to this game and the shot at $20,000 and the Chameleon Championship trophy.
Can A.J. Johnson control his emotions enough to allow his body to go through the proper motion?
Perhaps an answer right there with that awkward looking 210.
Well, it was wide right out of his hand, and the only way that ball was going to get back is if he threw it half as fast. It was just a miss.
Greedy on that one. You were hooked.
You heard him say he got greedy on that one. Go for it and nail it!
And here is your hammer tough spare replay as he throws the 2 right into the 10 perfectly.
And he had to go up there knowing, as well as Beasley's rolling the ball, if I leave an open frame, I'm in big trouble.
I mean, you got to think that Beasley's not going to miss the pocket.
You see AJ's road to the finals. Swept Brandon Novak to get into the last 4. That's a great recovery.
That's better.
Yes, it is.
Well, 5 to his dad there.
I got a little greedy because I knew that lane hooked a little bit.
Talking to his ball rep, got a little greedy, meaning he got the ball farther right than he needed to, and he thought it would get back because there's more friction on the right lane.
That was also wide right, but that four-pin just got kicked. It looked like it was sliding into second base.
A little softer speed for Mitch Beasley, so if he gets it a little right, he can create a little more down lane motion.
Now you can outfit yourself just like the pros with official PBA jerseys that are available exclusively at PBA.com. The jerseys are made from a high-performance fabric and can be customized for each person or team. Head to PBA.com today and click on the custom jersey link to begin. 5 in a row for Mitch Beasley. So Johnson down 22 here in the 6th.
No shot. Come on.
This is going to be an interesting shot.
Now, this was his greedy lane that left him a split, which he converted. And he's got a sleeper back there.
Wow, he liked that one. That shot looked pretty good and never grabbed a hold of the lane. This looks like it's on line and where he wants it, and you see it just hydroplaning. Comes in light, leaves a 2-8. 4-5 goes sideways.
So 2-8. Handled with a plum. He's got to shake off, though, that immediately, that relief pitcher mentality that all bowlers have to have as well when one doesn't go your way.
Well, the problem is that his opponent's on a 5-bagger, and you're coming off of a shot that you thought was really good, and it didn't even hit the pocket. Knowing he's got to go back to that right lane, you know, what's going to happen the next time? He's good here on this left lane. He should be a good shot here. He's got to finish the match on that right lane as well.
And he owns the left lane. Mom and Dad are happy.
That last one, got to get a little bit baby shape out of it, right? Just got to dial it down.
That's Tim Mack, his fall representative, who is extremely happy about Penn State being in the Rose Bowl.
That one was good, just a little quick.
Okay.
Let's dial it down and roll it off the range.
Okay.
I guarantee you to roll off. Okay. Go the best shot of the game, the next one, right?
All right.
Yeah, those two could probably throw some weights around together at the end of the day if they'd like to.
Timmy played a little football at Penn State.
He did. And Mitch Beasley spent 20 years in the Air Force. Yell by on that messenger. And his wife is equally thrilled. She's a very accomplished player in her own right.
Yeah, this is a good break. Remember the bad one he got in the first frame when he left a solid 9 on that lane. Look at that reaction.
He's riding 6 straight.
If Mitch Beasley is able to pull this victory out, it will be a long time coming, and I expect to see a guy who's not very emotional to get very emotional.
He does not have a PBA Tour title. We mentioned earlier he's got a ton of regional titles, 20 of them. He was the #1 seed in the TFC this year.
Baby.
Well, he's seemingly unstoppable.
Well, Mitch Beasley is throwing it absolutely beautifully. He's in the driver's seat right now. He's working on 7 in a row. A.J. Johnson now is thinking, no, it's off the sheet or I'm going to have 0 chance of winning. But he can still strike out for 258.
And it might not be enough. That's going to wobble, but
Really?
it won't go down.
Come on. Not that bad.
No, it wasn't.
Dang it.
This is really good by A.J.
Oh, and the 6 even kissed the 10 a little bit on the way around.
I think it was the vortex of the 6-pin going around the 10 that actually was trying to pull the 10-pin off the way.
Okay, the vortex, huh? Okay.
If he carries that hit there, it's a very interesting match. Mitch Beasley right now just has to stay behind the foul line.
Johnson in the foundation gets a strike. Right now he's sort of fighting the game at the moment. He's a little bit unhappy with some of the breaks he's received.
A little moisture with the hot breath in the finger and thumb holes. Mitch Beasley taking his time. Oh, no.
Whoops.
No.
Well, A.J. Johnson wasn't looking. I'm sure he's looked up by now and saw that he, without even bowling, got a huge break.
Well, okay, so we're going to just pencil in 9 out here. This is another great shot by Mitch Beasley, and we'll give him 9 here in the 9th frame. And again, he just needs a mark in the 10th, any mark. Coming up on the good lane, the left lane, the lane he chose to finish on.
It'll take a little extra time here.
You don't think this is a big shot in this man's career? He's 2 years away from bowling on the senior tour, the PBA 50 tour.
There you see what he needs. Okay, very makeable.
Wow.
But he must make it.
Wow. Nothing comes easy when it's your first title.
There's an incredible amount of tension over a 7-pin. He has to make this. Now just 3.
Stay behind the foul line, keep it on the lane. Mitch Beasley, after a long journey, will finally win title number 1. What an incredible story.
And for A.J. Johnson, he is in his 2nd TV final in 2 years. He did not win the USBC Masters, lost to Jason Belmonte. He, barring a miracle here, will not win this one. But again, at 24 years old, with all the changes he's made in his game, Mitch Beasley is a champion on the PBA Tour.
Congratulations, man. Great bowling all week. Nice shot.
What a deserving winner.
Awesome job, buddy. Thanks.
Mitch Beasley has picked up the Chameleon Championship, $20,000, and the title of PBA Tour champion. The PBA Chameleon Championship, presented by HotelPlanner.com, is brought to you by HotelPlanner.com, the best place to book hotel rooms. Best rooms, best rate, guaranteed. By Reno Tahoe USA. For your next vacation getaway, go to visit RenoTahoe.com. By the United States Bowling Congress, creating competitive opportunities at all levels as we build a future for the sport. Visit bowl.com for more. And by Skechers, wide fit with air-cooled memory foam. It's first class for your feet. Beautiful Tahoe. Just, in about 45 minutes, hour outside of Reno.
Dave, that looks like the tree I hit when I was skiing here.
Wow, I'm glad both of you survived. Let's go to our Geico Championship recap.
Late rally by A.J. Johnson, but that wobbler 10 in the 8th frame would prove to be his undoing. Mitch Beasley, messenger, even a pocket 7-10 in the 9th. Couldn't stop Mitch Beasley from capturing his first ever PBA Tour title.
246 to 237 over A.J. Johnson, and Mitch is standing by with Kimberly Pressler.
I sure am. So, Mitch, you've been a pro for 22 years. You have 20 regional titles. but this is your first ever PBA Tour title. Did you ever think this moment was going to come?
A few years ago when I was down and hurt and I couldn't bowl, I couldn't hardly walk, had a bad hip and back injury. I didn't think it would ever come then. And then got better and worked on my game a lot last year, and then belief and the good shots came back. So
the good shots came back indeed, and congratulations. You are officially a PBA Tour title holder.
thank you.
Congratulations, Mitch. Thank you, Kimberly, very much. He certainly earned it, too, because A.J. Johnson made him earn it. All right, coming up tomorrow, more Because We Love You at 2:30 Eastern on ESPN, the PBA Scorpion Championship. And then at 3:30, the PBA Shark Championship. Will Walter Ray Williams win his 100th combined title? Find out tomorrow on ESPN. So Mitch Beasley, congratulations for picking up that initial PBA Tour title. Here's to many, many more. For Randy Peterson, I'm Dave Lamont. Also for Kimberly Pressler. Thanks to our crew as well. And thank you for watching. Happy holidays, everybody.